Life can change in a single moment. Your destiny can turn on a dime. Mine did. After I'd graduated from the 7th grade, I moved to a new school district and had to sit down with my 8th grade counselor and my father and figure out what classes I should take. I had just moved to Houston again. We checked off the list and came to the end of it, and there was room for one elective, and there were only 2 choices. I could take wood shop or speech. My father said, "You don't have a speech defect," and the counselor explained, "No, that's not really what they do. They give speeches." So who knows, if I'd zigged instead of zagged, I might be receiving the Lifetime Achievement Award from the National High School Furniture Makers Association this evening. But instead, I am happily here with you. There was another moment. This one was not an accident. In that 8th grade speech class, I gave a speech, Patrick Henry, "Give me liberty or give me death," and I guess I must have done all right, because the speech teacher asked me then to go to the junior high school championships for our school district. I went in 2 events, poetry and declamation. I won both. I will never tell you what the poem was that I used to win. But I will tell you about my declamation. I aped Dr. Martin Luther King's gorgeous "I Have a Dream" speech that had been delivered on the steps of the Lincoln Monument in Washington, D.C. Unfortunately, I was only 13 and my voice hadn't changed, so the speech went, "I have a dream that someday..." It was a butchery of his beautiful baritone. I then joined our high school speech and debate team, and that's when I met them and they found me. My coaches, Joyce Gaines, Diane Lear Johnson, and when I reached college, James J. Unger. Our culture is beginning to understand the vital, fundamental importance of great teaching. Now studies all the time show that the one thing that matters above all else in education is the quality of a student's teachers. This room is filled with so much teaching talent that it would blind you like staring into the sun if you truly understood what you saw. Let me tell you what makes them so special. It's because they see something that you don't. What is it? They see that you are special. I am largely the invention of a handful of great coaches. And by the way, coaches, this is what your work looks like about 45 years later. I hope I didn't disappoint you too badly. But here we are, looking at these kids whom we coach, including my own son, and in a couple of years, my own daughter, often with ill-fitting suits, struggling to walk in 4-inch heels for what I'm certain is the first time for some of them, and completely incapable of keeping track of their own possessions. Any of you coaches have that issue too? But the coaches can see you. They can see you growing, and they can see you full grown. They get mad at you most when they see you getting in the way of your own potential. And they work hard to cultivate your gift. The gift of speech, the gift that turned my life from lead into gold. How powerful is this gift? Well, one survey recently found that 80% of the members of Congress were on their high school forensics teams. A Florida study of its legislature reported that some members of the legislature were especially influential in controlling the entire body and passing legislation. Overwhelmingly, those members had been on their high school forensics teams. 80% of Congress. I'll bet it's about the same in the state legislatures. Do you realize what this means? We rule the world right here in this room. I had the good fortune to work in the United States Senate for one of the great legislators of the 20th century, Edward M. Ted Kennedy of Massachusetts. Now, the life of the Senate is debate. I saw that as a huge opportunity. First, a great piece of legislation is just like a great affirmative case. It's built on a foundation of solid research, and get this, it is designed to avoid its opponent's issues. I'm editorializing a little. You do that by working with the other side, to understand their reasonable concerns, including their political fears about what supporting you might do to them. And you write the bill to avoid or minimize their issues. They will often then not only vote for your bill, they may fight to see who gets to be the primary backer of the bill in their party. There are two sure roads to failure in this world. I've seen it time and time again. The most common is to blame the judges when you lose. Losers blame the judges. Winners know that they have to win by a big margin, so the judges really have no option other than to vote for them. Judges everywhere, I'm sure, agree with me. The second road to impotence is to think that persuasion is proving to your friends that you share their contempt for enemies. Social media has amplified this. We only want to hear from those with whom we agree, and we strive to show off how much we disagree with our shared enemy. We are forging groups and identities based on who we hate rather than on who we love. That's for losers. Winners assume that most of the human race holds its views in good faith. And if you can find opponents who will believe that about you, then you could work together, make bargains, and move the world forward. I've been there and I've seen it done. That lost art by itself could turn this country into a sad memory. What else do your coaches see? Well, one study found that 15% of high school debaters became high-ranking business executives. Speech and debate made my business. My company sells courses taught by the best professors and teachers in America. Think about that. All I did was build a dream team of top speakers. Imagine a final round in any event here at this tournament in which only the national champions of the past 10 years competed. Would you show up to come watch that round? That's what I did. That was my vision, and it worked massively. But forensics alone won't produce these kinds of results. I want to tell you about two things you have to bring to the party in addition to your training and your talent. One, no one succeeds until they bring all of themselves to the task of success. As Rocky's coach tells him at the end of Rocky IV, this is the last round. Give it everything you've got, all your strength, all your power, all your love. And that's what it takes for years. Let me urge three things on you during those years. One, write down your goals every year. Give them deadlines. I never let a New Year's Day happen without knowing precisely what I want to get done that year. Abraham Lincoln advised, always bear in mind that your own resolution to succeed is more important than any other thing. Two, work as hard as possible to make your goals happen. And three, remember this all of the time. TANOM. There are no ordinary moments. Of all the trillion atoms in this universe, we are amongst the vanishing few that can experience the glory of being. So while you struggle and strive, remember this. You've already won because you are alive and aware. That can sustain you through much struggle. The second thing you need, in addition to your forensics, is to understand this. Giving all of yourself isn't nearly enough. We are social animals, political animals, Aristotle called us. So here's my closing observation. No one succeeds alone. My coaches set me on a path. Dozens of people helped me in the Senate, in business, and in life. And all that came from speech. Individual physical strength, even bench pressing, is not really a life skill unless you choose to go to combat, policing, or a life of crime. I recommend against the latter particularly. Why? Because only you wield physical strength. Even genius is a pointless treasure if you cannot share the fruits of your discoveries with others. No, the measure of your power in life is the number of people you can persuade to join you. Let me repeat that. The measure of your power in life is the number of people you can persuade to join you. That is why speech is the most powerful gift you can receive. This gift we have, this power to express ourselves and to persuade others, is a gift that in the right hands can move the world. So, labor long and hard, take joy with you every day, find peace with your opponents and love with your friends, and move the world. Thank you.